While preparing dinner, a woman got a notification on her phone that read, "Alert movement detected." She quickly rushed to her baby's room to see what had happened, unaware she would see an unknown girl sitting next to her son. Cynthia never skipped her nighttime skincare routine. Like every day, she looked closely at her face in the mirror, sliding her fingers over the new pimple on her face. Then she generously applied her favorite night cream on her face while still looking at her reflection. "I could have never imagined using these expensive creams and serums 5 years ago," Cynthia thought. After her parents passed away in a car accident when she was 10, she lived in a foster home with other orphan children. Living there wasn't a pleasant experience, but it made her realize she needed to work hard. She didn't want to spend the rest of her life in poverty. At 29, Cynthia was running one of the best clothing lines in town, which helped her elevate her lifestyle. She now lived in the city's most expensive area and had enough money to shop without worrying about the price tags. However, she wasn't at peace even after living the luxurious lifestyle she'd always dreamt of. Whenever Cynthia saw couples spending time with their children, she wished she could do the same. She yearned to have a big family after she lost hers at a young age. "Will I ever find true love?" Cynthia often wondered. She dated many men, but none of them impressed her. Some never wanted to have children, while others weren't ready to marry her. Cynthia's work helped her keep and divert her mind from the things she yearned for. She worked hard to improve her clothing line, so she often met investors in business meetings. During one such meeting, Cynthia's assistant introduced her to Stuart, a handsome young man who earned a lot of money at a young age. Cynthia thought he wasn't like the other men she'd met, and there was something different about him. Soon, Cynthia and Stuart became friends and met outside business hours. They shared many common interests, including the desire to have a big family. After spending months getting to know Stuart, Cynthia decided she wanted to marry him. Going against the norm, she proposed to him, and to her surprise, he agreed. "I had no idea you'd say yes so easily," she said jokingly. "Oh, Cynthia, who could say no to a beautiful girl like you?" Stuart replied. "I'm ready to spend the rest of my life with you." Cynthia and Stuart tied the knot without wasting any more time, but the couple had no idea how things would soon take an unexpected turn. A month after their marriage, they began trying for a baby, but Cynthia would have a miscarriage every time she'd conceive. Soon the doctors told her she couldn't be a mother, but they suggested she adopt. After all, her goal was to have a big family, and she didn't mind raising a child who craved maternal love. However, Stuart didn't want to adopt children. "I want my own babies," he would say every time Cynthia talked about adoption. He wouldn't listen to her, even if she tried to explain how adopting a baby would benefit them in multiple ways. One day, Stuart returned from work and told Cynthia he wanted to talk to her. The couple had been arguing about adopting children for the past few weeks and couldn't agree on anything. "I don't think it's working between us," Stuart said. "I think we should part ways." "What?" Cynthia looked at him in disbelief. "You said you wanted to spend the rest of your life with me." "I did, Cynthia, but I had no idea you couldn't have children." "So what? I've been telling you we can adopt kids. Everyone does it." "That's what's bothering me, Cynthia. You want to adopt children, but I don't." Stuart folded his hands. "I think it's better if we part ways because I want to have a big family, but not with adopted kids." Cynthia had never thought Stuart would talk about divorce one day. She'd planned to raise children with him, but to her it seemed like she'd made the wrong choice. She could feel her heart pounding when Stuart said he would soon divorce her. "I think you're right. Let's part ways." Cynthia closed her eyes and took a deep breath. Weeks later, she was sitting in her new apartment away from her ex-husband. She tried to keep herself busy with her work, but the thought of raising children never left her mind. Suddenly, her phone's ringtone interrupted her thoughts, and she extended her hand to see who was calling her. The adoption agency. When she was with Stuart, she had contacted a local adoption agency after her last miscarriage. "Hello, am I speaking to Cynthia?" the lady on the other end asked. "Yes," Cynthia replied. "I wanted to follow up regarding your interest in our agency. Are you still interested in adopting a child?" "Am I?" Cynthia thought. Yes, I want to adopt a child," she replied after a brief pause. "All right," the lady exclaimed. "Please visit us soon so we can proceed further." Cynthia thought she didn't need a man to raise a child and needed to adopt a baby. After months of waiting, she finally adopted a baby boy and named him Thomas. Although Cynthia didn't give birth to Thomas, she felt close to her baby. She thought he completed her and awakened a strength in her she never knew she had. Besides being a successful businesswoman, Cynthia was now a loving mother who never left her baby alone. She wanted to protect him at all times, so she bought a baby camera to watch him while she wasn't in his room. One day, Cynthia was preparing dinner in the kitchen while Thomas was in the bedroom. Suddenly, the baby monitor alerted her about movement in the room. "What's this about?" she said before she rushed to the room and found no one inside. The motion sensor might have malfunctioned, she thought, and restarted the camera. The next day, Cynthia got the same alert on her phone. This can't be a coincidence, she thought before tiptoeing into the bedroom. Instead of entering the room, she peeked silently and was shocked to see a girl sitting inside. "Who are you?" Cynthia yelled. "Get away from my baby!" The girl's eyes widened upon seeing Cynthia in the room and she froze. "I'm calling the cops," Cynthia said and unlocked her phone to dial 911. "Please don't call the cops. I won't hurt you or my baby," the girl cried. "Your baby?" Cynthia's brows furrowed. "That's my child Thomas. I know you got him through the adoption agency. I'm his mother." The girl looked at the ground. "What?" "My name is Mary," the girl said and told Cynthia her story. Mary was an 18-year-old girl who accidentally got pregnant but couldn't keep the baby because her parents kicked her out, so she decided to give him up for adoption. When she learned Cynthia had adopted her baby boy, she followed her car and discovered where she lived. "I just came to see my baby one last time," Mary said. "I promise I won't come here again. Thank you for adopting him." Then Mary stood up and walked toward the door to leave. "Wait, Mary," Cynthia said. "Would you like to work for me as a nanny? This way you can stay with your baby, earn money, and have a safe living space." Mary's eyes sparkled upon hearing Cynthia's job offer. I can do that," she replied. Soon, Mary began working as a nanny for Cynthia and took care of Thomas. Years later, the birth mother saved enough money to buy her studio apartment but visited her son frequently. "Will you be Thomas's godmother?" Cynthia asked Mary once. "Sure," Mary chuckled and hugged her son. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with someone who may find it interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.